Hello YouTube, Oberon Blade here. Today we will be playing Agricultural Simulator 2013. This is a new game that was released on November 16th for digital downloads. I will be playing the USA map. From what I understand, there is really no difference between the two, the three different maps. I will pick this one because this is the one I've been playing before when I've sort of been learning the ropes about the game. So yeah, this is a farm. We have €500,000 at our disposal. We have some milk, corn, wheat, eggs, and manure, I think this is, or barley maybe. No, this is pesticide, sorry. And a few other things available to us. I haven't really played long enough to manage to get any more eggs than the two that is listed here. I don't know if I actually have to, it's just a listing. There's really no way to purchase animals at this time. It's a new game, there's still some bugs in it. But for what we're going to be doing now is, the first thing we'll be doing is actually create a field so that we can plant some crops. I have corn and wheat available, and I will be planting corn. Sorry, I will be planting wheat. So this is my farm area. My buildings are over here, and this is unused land that I can have for my fields. So I will create a field. I will not make it too big. Figure something around this line. It's not too small either. It's 877. So we lock that in place. Now we have a field, we can rename it. A1 is a good name though, since I only have one field at this time. So yeah, I will keep that name. And we're back in first person view. Next thing we need to do is get a tractor. We do have one here, however it's weak, and I will go for one that is slightly stronger, plenty stronger, strong enough to handle the machinery I have to put on it. As I said, there are still bugs in the game, so adding a front weight would not work because you cannot attach it yet. But this Massey Ferguson is a nice tractor. It's reliable, strong enough to handle both the plow, the seeder, the other machinery that I've been using so far. And I will be using this Europel. I've been using it a lot and I like it. Now, if you've been playing or seen people playing your farming simulator, for example, you just, in those games, you tap to move between the different vehicles you have available to you. And here you really don't have any vehicles unless you buy them. So you cannot get the biggest, baddest machine that you come across. And also here you have to manually attach and detach different equipment to a tractor. But now when that's done, we can go to our field, or drive to our field. This plow is still a bit back heavy. As you can see, the tractor is wobbling a bit. And I would attach a front weight if I were able to, but I can't. So for now we just make do with what we have, and hopefully they fix it soon. That red marker shows where my field is. I don't know if it's supposed to be there or it's just for now. And also the 4 corner posts shows the outer edges of the field. So what I will be doing is I will plow the field, and I've been doing this a couple of times, or a bunch of times, and I think I've come up with a way that works for me. If some of you have a better way of doing this, please let me know. But for now, this is what I will be doing. I will try to line up these two poles, and also I will start like this, even though the plow will probably not create a field near the plow or near the pole, but that's for another time, I guess. I've been going around trying to fix up it by going in the other direction, in the edges. What that does is create mounds, and it's very difficult to navigate. And also when it comes to the cultivating, which will be the second step after I plowed, the cultivator tends to jump and miss some spots, and also the tractor might end up getting stuck. So what I will do is I'll just do passes from one side. I mean, this Europal has a rotate function, so I can rotate it to go from the other side as well, and I guess meet in the middle, but it will be the same thing once I get to the middle, that I will create a mound, because there's no indicator that tells me that going and meet in the middle will create a nice pass, the last pass in the middle. Also, the tutorial tells me that I should drive with the wheel down the furrow. I find that to be a difficult thing to do, as it's hard to stay in a straight line. So what I would do is I will drive just next to it, and you will see at this pass that it works. It creates nice furrows. Sorry about that. And this is the first stage. There are 6 steps if you want to do if you want to have like the best possible crop. And the stages are plowing, cultivating, fertilizing, planting, and then after the plants have grown up a bit, you will move on to spray them with pesticide before you finally harvest them. And each and every one of those steps require a new tool or piece of equipment. The last step, the harvesting, would being the most expensive one. The cheapest harvester to get is 220,000, and then you need a harvesting header, which adds to that cost as well. So after I purchase all the equipment, which I will do in stages, I will do it when I need it. That's I think maybe I end up with having about 100,000, maybe less left. I did a calculation of what I thought were like the nice equipment that I can still afford, and it cost 495,000 in total. So that only left me with 5,000, and I wasn't happy with that. But what I did was I went over the list again to see what I could do. For example, the seeder there's a seeder that costs 70,000, and it's a combination seeder cultivator. It's great. You save one step. Instead of going over this field 6 times, you can do it 5 times, and that's good. However, if I were to buy the seeder and the cultivator separately, I can get the cultivator for 8,500, and then another seeder, slightly smaller, and that doesn't cultivate, for I think the price was around 20,000. I can check. I've got it written down here. No, 15,000. So instead of getting a combo for 70, I get 2 different machineries for about 23,000, and which is like less than a third of the price. Another good thing about having that is that if I were to hire a worker or play this in multiplayer mode, which I haven't done, it's not available yet, it would also allow me to work on two fields at the same time at two different stages. If you have like the plowing, the planting stage on one field and then the cultivating stage on the other one, you don't have to wait around. You of course you need to get another tractor, but it's not a bad idea to have extra equipment around. I will not get a second tractor, not at this point. I mean, as I said, the funds are limited, and for now I will be doing everything myself, so I will not need another tractor, and I will not hire a worker. They are a bit bugged, and I will do the stuff by myself because I want to learn how to do it. So yeah, this is it. I will continue doing this field. Let's see, where is it? There it is. And when I'm done, I will go back and I will show you about the cultivating, how to do that. So until then, be back shortly. Okay, welcome back. I just finished plowing the field, and here is my dirty plow. Now it's time to pick up or purchase the cultivator. Sorry. There are, as you can see, there are 8 different, but there's a total of 109 different vehicles or extensions to be using. I will be using this cultivator. It gets the job done, and it's cheap, and I know my tractor is powerful enough to handle it. And it's not too heavy, so it's good. I did try to tidy up the field that I created. As you remember, the plow works on the diagonally, and it just leaves like empty areas around where there is no plowing being done. I guess I could have started outside the field, so that at least the area within the field were plowed. But yeah, I figured that I will do that. I mean, this is I'm just starting out. I'm allowed to make mistakes, and I like the way the field turned out. And if it works this way, I do have a lot of land available, so I can also always create more fields. And I know I said I wouldn't hire a worker, but I might hire a worker to do the next field or something like that. Because it will take like, I think 10-15 days before the crop starts growing up, high enough for you to be able to spray them with pesticides. Okay, now when I'm driving on this area that I've been plowing, you see that the tractor is wobbling about and all that. It's the realistic furrows that they did to the game, the dynamics of the physics engine as well. It's a nice feature. I like it. It makes it more real. The physics engine might be a bit too sensitive though, because I still feel that you would be able to drive. I mean, this tractor has a tendency to get stuck if the furrows or mounts are too high, but if in real life the tractor's weight and power is just such that a small amount of dirt that you can scoop off with a shovel wouldn't be able to stop you. But in the game it does. But that's maybe something they will look into. Right now I'll just cultivate so I prepare the land for the planting. Well, before I plant, I will fertilize the soil. I guess it could be done afterwards. I'm just doing it the way the tutorial showed me, and tutorial did show me that the next step after the plowing and cultivating is the fertilizing with the manure. And so that's what I will be doing. I could do several passes with this to really smoothen out the areas, even the areas that hasn't been plowed or haven't been plowed yet. But I will do one pass, maybe. I might do a few more because, as I said, I did try to tidy up the start and ending positions. Like you can see, some mounds are higher than others. Also, this field that I created is a complete rectangle, or even rectangle. This side is slightly wider than the other side, so but it's okay in a way, because those guidelines, the poles are there as a guideline only. I mean, this is your land. Sure, I've named this field. I don't know if I can extend this field, or I created a field. I don't know if I can extend it to be within the farmed or the plowed area. And I don't know if it's better to maybe plowed area first and then create a field around it. I mean, I guess it would be possible, but I like this way. Again, this is the way the tutorial showed me how to do it, and I know the tutorial is just a guideline, basically just to show you, the keystrokes, the key button press, things like that. So, yeah. I mean, eventually I will figure out how to do things. I've already figured out how to do things. I will show you that. I figured out something that the tutorial didn't show me or tell me or mention or anything like that. And I will show you that when I will do the fertilizing. So I will be back. I will do this, the rest of this off screen, so to speak. And I will be back when it's time to fertilize. And see you soon. Bye for now. Okay, welcome back. I'm just finishing off the field here with this thing, cultivator, sorry. I have been going back and forth over the starting and ending positions. As you can see, there's different colors. I don't think it will work. I don't think that I will be able to plant on those areas. However, it looks better, and I also realized that after the first harvest, when I plow the land again, I do it the other way around, with the plow blades facing the other way. That way I should be able to get a uniform square, so to speak. So right now I'm just going to turn this in and drop this one off and buy the manure wagon. So we can fertilize our field before we plant, and I will do that on screen in this episode, and then I end the episode, and the next episode we'll have show me planting, buying the seeder, how to load it with seed, and such fun things. I wish these circles were slightly bigger, because if you just don't click inside it, nothing will happen. Okay, off to the store. And that was the cultivator. Now we need a fertilizer. There are 3 different wagons, 17,000, 27,000 and 37,000. It contains 20,000 liters, 17,000 and 14,400 liters of manure. I will get a smaller one, mainly because it's the cheapest one, and I don't need more than about, I would think, 400 or 500 liters of manure on this small field that I created. And as you can see at the dunghill, I only have 1,500 units. As I said, I don't know if I actually have these animals, and they will add to the manure, the eggs, things like that, or I have to purchase more. The problem with that is that, as I said before, you cannot really purchase animals. I don't know if that is exactly true. There is really no, or the fact is that there is no animal transport. So you can go to town, purchase animals, but there is no way for you to bring them home. Okay, there we go. This one has 2 connections as well. You know, the square to the square. Okay, I guess that wasn't close enough. Square to the square, there we go. And then the circle to the circle. There. Okay, connection done. Back into the tractor. Now to fill this up with manure. Yeah, I do hope I bought the right one. So I have to do that here. There is no easy way to get move between your vehicles. So you have to manually do this. I'm just gonna, one moment, I will change the sensitivity of the mouse to there. There we go. Okay. I don't know what that pole does. I would think that you attach this thing, this blue thing, in some way, and it does stuff with you, for you, to you. Yes, but I have no idea what to do. I don't know if it's for quick and easy transport, if it's for manure hauling or food hauling or anything like that. Okay. Oh, come on. Start filling up. Oh, it was. There we go. Okay, I was mentioning before that I learned something that was in the tutorial, and that is that you can assign a hotkey to this one. What you do is that you press this button here. It didn't have a hotkey in the beginning, which meant that to activate and deactivate it, I had to press an Alt tab to open this menu, which is the machine menu, or machine operation menu, where all the actions are available for the machine that you're in, with the attachments to it. So what you do is you press this button, record there, and then I select this one, and I can put that at E, for example. Press action, secondary key. There, key recording complete. Now whenever I press E, this one will start spewing out manure. However, I want to be ER, sorry. There. Oh, son of a. I guess I have to reverse. Oh. Whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. I'm not doing too well here, am I? Or maybe I can. Yeah, well, never mind. Yeah, there is dynamics in this game. As you can see, when I'm driving, I create. You will see when I get to the farm, I create depressions into the ground, as you can see here as well. And vehicles do need maintenance, and you can wash them as well because they do get dirty. I mean, this manure wagon looks very nice. There's a bit of dirt around the wheel arches. But the manure wagon itself looks kind of neat and tidy. I'm a bit disappointed with this one because the spreading isn't done in a it's not wide, you know. However, the field looks nice, kind of even. So, you know, get in the field a bit, and then we press R and start spewing. And we just move slowly. Well, I guess we can move it temp mod 2, which is automated speed number 2. And just make sure that we put manure in the field and don't waste any. So we turn it off once we get to that part. Also, it will take a few tries with this machine to figure out where the spreading starts, and because most of the time I end up starting the spraying outside of the field. Like here, I thought I was, you know, in far enough, but I wasn't. Okay, so number 2. And you can see the manure string. I don't know why it says that it could hold like 14,400 liters when it stopped at 1,000, and I have more manure available. It should basically take all the manure I have and fill up on this. So I don't know if it doesn't count as liters or units, or it's counting it as units. If that's the reason, it stops at 1,000. But I would rather have it show the actual amount of manure that I can put in it, because that to me is more helpful. Then I know, like, okay, I need this much manure for this field instead of I need this many units of manure for the field. What else? Well, I will not really delve into the animal care or buying animals, raising animals and things like that. But there are 6 different animals in the game which you can purchase, maintain, sell, you know, earn stuff from. And those animals are the chicken, the pigs, sheep, you have deers, you have cows, and the last one would be the bull, I think. So you put a bull and a cow together, and maybe they will provide you with more cows and bulls. Again, this is not something that I've gotten into myself. I'm not that keen on that aspect. I did try it in Farming Simulator, and I found that you need to invest a lot of money just to, for what I see in the beginning to be a very low return of your investment. And in the beginning, whoa, crap. Sorry about that. See if I can get it. Okay, there we go. In the beginning, I just found that I needed money for a bunch of other stuff. Last time I played it was not that long ago, like just the day before this one was released, and I actually managed to make a lot of money, buy a lot of extra fields on sale. And I was lucky I got a few great demands as well, which this game also will contain. It will contain something called hotspots for sale. So if you stockpile your manure, your grains and such in your silos, which are hidden back behind the tree there, waiting for great demand, you probably make a good deal. And considering the work that you have to put into this type of game, you really want those demands to maximize the profit as much as you can. Also, those small things on the ground there, that's the marker for the edge of my farmland, and that's the neighbor's farmland there. And as you can see, I'm just spewing manure outside of the field, even though I said I would, don't like the waste. But the field isn't even, so, and I still have enough for two more. Fertilizings of that field, or for two other same-sized fields or larger fields. I could buy more in town, I guess, but for that I would need a transport wagon. I can show you. There is just different types of transports. This is, as you can see, I will not get that one, not that one. No, I mean, I would need one of these, but I will not have to do that one. There's a wagon there. Okay, there. It's a flatbed. You can transport sacks of grain and stuff on that one. Here's one that I'm thinking of buying. It's smaller, but it has this edges to keep stuff from falling out. But that's for the future. Maybe, after we plant it, I will take a trip into town just to show you. It's kind of empty. There are really no people around, no vehicles, nothing. You have a few locations where you can purchase stuff. And as you see, when I get close to some buildings or locations here on the farm, you will see a small circle show up with a icon in it, and that is the location for those things. Like I was driving along the road there, and it showed the icon with the water drops, and that is apparently where I hook up the sprayer for and then mix in the pesticide after the plants have started growing a bit. Yeah, okay, as you can see, this device, machine thing is very dirty after just one trip on a very small field I had over there. There are the silos. I think there are a few more. Oh yeah, there's a few more over there. Right now there is really no way to check what it is they have available. They will add it. I would think that would be one of the things they would add, before releasing the game. Also, there is no fuel consumption, even though there is a fuel station downtown or in town. You don't need to visit it because you don't consume any fuel. Eventually, they will add those kinds of things, but for now, I guess everybody that playing the game before those things are added, get sort of a free fuel consumption. However, they did a patch on the first day, and the save game files for most players that was done prior to downloading the patch were corrupt, so everybody had to pretty much start over again. That's okay, I learn new things and I improve on the way I do things the more I play the game. But anyway, this is the end of episode 1. I hope you enjoyed it, and as I said, in episode 2 we will purchase a seeder and we will load it with wheat, and we will plant them on the field, wait a few days for it to grow up, and then we will spray it and finally harvest it. So see you in the next episode, I hope. Bye for now.